Hello friends and partners. Suzanne and I hope you had a wonderful holiday season and that you're excited for 2022 and getting ready with all sorts of optimism and enthusiasm for the coming year. Previously we had sent a save the date notice for you all to mark your calendars for June 16th through the 19th for our biannual partners trip. And I'm sure you're all wondering where we're going. So as we thought of this trip and planned it out over the last couple of years, we had a lot of options to consider, and we knew that Dubuque, Iowa had all the charm that Iowa has to offer. And places like Omaha were wonderful mid-June, and we were thinking of just a great place to go. But for this trip, we thought we'd maybe take you a little bit further away from home than you're used to going. So this trip that we've got planned is potentially a bucket list item for some people. Other people are going to just think it's insane and wonder why we're doing this, and a lot of other people won't even know what to think because you've never even thought of a trip like this. So it could go in a lot of different directions, but I would say one thing with some certainty is that we've not done a partners trip quite like this. It's a 6-hour flight from Chicago or Minneapolis. It's a different country altogether entirely. It's a very untropical destination. It's a land of ice and fire with volcanoes and glaciers, and it's where Vikings would go to retire. It's been forgotten for about 1,000 years, and it's now emerging as a tourist hotspot, situated on the cusp of the North Atlantic Gulf Stream and splitting the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. We are going to Iceland. So with help from Todd and Tracy, we've got a lot of great things planned. Starting with, we're going to be staying right downtown Reykjavik at the Apotek Hotel.
Which is right next to a lot of great seafood restaurants and just exciting restaurants.
Yep. We'll be spending some time at the geothermal springs that are in the area, as well as leaving Reykjavik and going out into the nature that Iceland has to offer for adventures, either as a group or smaller groups.
And we're staying right downtown, so there'll be shopping all around us, as well as our spa appointments will be close to us as well.
As far as travel is concerned, there are some direct flight options going out of the Midwest, notably out of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Chicago O'Hare nearly daily.
And if you do have a connection, they'll either be out of Boston or Raleigh-Durham or JFK or Toronto, but hopefully you won't have to connect, just in case you do. Some of the options.
And so getting there, we'll be leaving on Wednesday night instead of Thursday morning. And so we'll leave on Wednesday night, red-eye flights. Everybody will arrive sometime Thursday morning by different incoming flights into Reykjavik.
But we do have a plan. So when you get there, we're just going to have everybody join up together. We're going to go to a special place to get kind of cleaned up and kind of get refreshed for the day. And you will leave feeling like you have your second wind. So just be excited for the day. We'll get there early in the morning and we'll have all day to explore and rest if you need to. But hopefully after our special event, you won't have to rest. You can just go on and explore the town.
Coming back to the U.S., it's going to be a lot of different options. You could leave throughout the day, but whatever time you leave, generally you arrive back in the U.S., if it's a direct flight, about the same time as you left Iceland. You're following the sun, so you gain all those 6 hours back when you're flying back. And for those of you that want to stay longer, have some kind of extended stay, either before or after, and I think several of you might, we spent some time there, so we can give you some pointers on where to stay, what to do. There's a lot of B&B, like Airbnb options, resorts, hotels in the area we could point you in the direction of, as well as renting a car. It's pretty straightforward. It's easy to drive in Iceland. If you drive a standard transmission, you'll have a lot of rental car options. Any of these things, though, you want to book somewhat in advance because they do tend to fill up if you're too close to the date of the trip. Other travel concerns. You're going to need some passports. And if you've got a passport, make sure that the date is not within 3 months of your return to the U.S. date. So if you're at all close, just get a new passport. They recommend a 6-month window, not a 3-month window. At last check, if you have a current vaccination status, and we can give you details on that, what it is, but if you've been vaccinated, as well as having a within 72 hours negative COVID test, and there's a few test options for that. If you have those lined up, you can go right into the country of Iceland. You'll need to be tested on the way back to the U.S. as well within 72 hours. So essentially, as soon as we get there, you could line up your test routine to come back, and we could all go as a group to the testing center, which is only down the street a couple minutes. It's very close. So we will work that into the itinerary as well, so that we're all good to come back with hopefully no problems.
And the results come right to your phone, so you don't have to worry about getting the results and checking all that. It comes straight to you.
Yeah. So speaking of phones, if you have a U.S. phone with a data plan and regular phone coverage, you might want to contact your carrier to confirm details, but generally they all work in Iceland. There's no strange conversion or transfer of SIM cards or anything else. Mine worked just fine, and so did Suzanne. You might have to pay a fee for extra usage overseas, though.
It was just $10 a day for me, and I have Verizon, so.
As far as language goes, everybody in Iceland speaks at least as good of English as you and I do, so communication should not be a problem. And when you want to buy something, you don't need Icelandic kroner, which is their unit of currency. If you have a U.S. credit card, and I bring a couple, you should have no problems getting anything you want there as far as buying it is concerned. Credit cards work everywhere. It's nearly a cashless society. And as far as tipping, if you're worried about having cash, Iceland's a country where tipping is not conventional. So don't worry about tipping. It's not customary there. They probably take the tip, but it's not expected. So with that being said, there's details yet to come. We'll need to get our flights lined up. We will need to get some further planning on signing up for activities. There'll be linked videos with more information about the country, its history, culture, geography, places to go, things to do, as well as a website that'll get more descriptive and complete as time goes on regarding our activities. But one of the first things we should do is get your plane tickets lined up. So there'll be requests for that information coming soon. For now, though, I'd say that Suzanne and I are both looking forward to being with you, along with Todd and Tracy, to host this trip. And we'll see you in June in Iceland.
See you in Iceland.